please shout. Or any worries about that, please shout.
No.
No, great. We've had 3 apologies from Stuart Scholes, Roger Quatkin and Lizzie from G&G Vitamins. So welcome everybody to East Grinstead Business Association's AGM for 2021. I'll start with a bit of Zoom etiquette. If you could put yourself on mute for the moment, that would be fantastic, just while we go through proceedings. We're hoping that Mims Davis, our MP, will be joining us, but she is obviously very busy. So we're hoping to have some kind words from her. I'd like to welcome all of our Mid-Sussex District Councillors, East Grinstead Town Councillors, and members of the Mid-Sussex District team have helped us out during this year. I'd like to welcome our members. Welcome to any non-members. So I thought I'd start quickly by Lee Farron, 4th year being of the Business Association. I'm also a trustee up at East Grinstead Sports Club. I'm an owner of a local business in East Grinstead as well. And I work closely with my officers. And as I mention them, if they'll give you a little wave so you can recognise the faces. We've got Kate Bennett, who's our business manager. She is in charge of member recruitment, any membership queries or anything you wish to chat about your business, so that we might be able to help through the business association. We've got Samantha West, she's our marketing manager, waving away. Sam is in charge of marketing and promoting our events and promoting any information that you as members wish to push through our channels. She's also in charge of our social media and is always looking to promote our members. We have Margaret de Jong, who's our treasurer. Hopefully Margaret's waving away. And she deals with all things financially related. I will do a quick shout out to our committee members and I'll do a quick wave. There's Fiona Bewers, Rob Bliss, Charmaine Hallmark, Darren Greenaway, Elaine McGloin, Stuart Scholes, Tim Thompson and Rex Whitaker. We also have John Belsey, who's our East Grinstead Town Council representative to the Business Association. And we have Norman Webster, who's our Mid-Sussex District Council representative to the Business Association. During tonight, we'll go through the Treasurer's report. We'll go through our charity report. We'll go through some of the formalities of re-elections. I will finish off with a review of 2020 and the year ahead. And then we will do some breakout rooms, bit of networking and chin wagging. So that's for me to address it. And I'm just having a look to see if Mims has managed to join us.
Not yet.
Doesn't look like it. I mean, obviously she's very busy. We could possibly ask Mr. Stephen Hillier if he would like to say a few words on behalf of Mid-Sussex. Welcome, Stephen. And if Mims does arrive in time, hopefully she can give us a nice, update on what's happening in Mid-Sussex. Over to you, unexpectedly, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks for that. Not quite a hospital pass. Good evening, everybody.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? Sorry, Mims has just arrived. So if I just admit her. Sorry, Stephen, to interrupt.
Keep going, Stephen, and I'll introduce Mims after you.
I'll keep this brief, mostly because I wasn't prepared, but good evening, everybody. And thank you all for supporting the Business Association. I think, certainly from my point of view, and I think most of the officers and team at Mid-Sussex, the work of the business associations, and most definitely including East Grinstead, has been hugely valuable during COVID. I think they've done a fantastic job in being a conduit of information, funneling inquiries, and ensuring that all of our grants, of which there are so many, because obviously we're administering the government grants as well, the information's got out to members. I say I'm just full of praise for the business associations, the way their teams have adapted to the virtual world and still provided a service to their members. In terms of MSDC and the economy, it's still far too early to see how it's all going to pan out. We know that there are some great success stories, but along that there are a lot of companies and individuals and pico businesses or micro businesses that have really struggled. But the picture is still emerging as to how that's going to affect our economy. We wait to see what's going to happen in our high streets, of course. I suspect, sadly, we are going to see more and more shops closing down. And what's going to happen to those empty properties, nobody knows. But if any members have got queries or comments they want to make, do feel free to channel them through Lee's team or directly to myself, and we'll answer them as best as we can. We have got a COVID recovery strategy, which we agreed, which we're actioning now, which is just doing what we can to support businesses and the economy recover. And over the next few months, the council, as you're probably aware, are very, very committed to the sustainability strategy. So we're actually going to merge the sustainability strategy and the economy strategies, because obviously they are very heavily intertwined. And we're working on those in the coming months, and the Business Association will be a very important partner in that, and hopefully we'll be getting information out through them to you to enable you to join in the conversation, as it were, and make your representations. I think that's about all I've got time to, all I need to say. Have a good meeting, and thank you for the invitation, and thank you for the pass, Lee.
Thank you, Stephen. I must apologise for that. I see Mims is still not with us, but hopefully she'll be able to jump in later.
No, she's
So
here.
we'll move.
She's here.
Don't panic.
Oh, there you are. Mims.
Sorry, I didn't realise I was on straight away.
Apologies from us then, Mims. I just was hoping, as you are our chairman of the Business Association, you could have a few words for our members from your eyes of Mid Sussex and government.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a pleasure to join you. And apologies, I was just in a meeting regarding the expansion of job centres and just how many more people employing and how many more we're opening, which, as the employment minister through the pandemic, is not normally the place where you want to be really pleased about what we're doing in this area. But given the challenge, we've got nearly 6 million people now on universal credit as a result of the pandemic. It's gone up 96% since last March. This is some of the work that I'm doing in my governmental role. I know that Stephen very kindly and through his portfolio at the district spoke about the council's economic development action. So I know that we had a meeting recently, Lee, with the other business associations, and we're trying to put together, and also I'm very keen, and Stephen mentioned it, about our small and our micro businesses. Many of them also in Mid Sussex are rural, so we need to really understand the impact of the pandemic and the opportunities for the breadth of businesses in our communities. And I think the council has done an outstanding job on behalf of the government in terms of being flexible and agile regarding the grant scheme. I know we probably didn't all want to be in that position, but the council, and I can say, because I work with other colleagues who do not have a council who's as agile, as forward thinking, and has been, really engaged in this in terms of maximising the eligibility for businesses and really trying to stretch that support as widely as possible. And I know Stephen and Jonathan and all the team, they have done a huge amount of work. The COVID Recovery Fund, the 300,000 funded to support small businesses is really important, with another 152,000 regarding the Micro Business Fund. And these are all going to be vital alongside a clear message when we reopen to buy local and shop local, And I know I can't wait to go and see my local traders. My bank balance, I feel very lucky, is in some kind of reasonable shape until my children seem to notice it. But certainly there are some people who are doing okay in this and some people who really aren't. And I can't wait to go out and support many people who've been impacted by no fault of their own of having to close, and making sure that we do everything we can to support our high streets, and the safe reopen of our high streets and the continued social distancing measures are going to be really important. I had the opportunity to join Paul Scully, one of the Bays ministers, earlier this week with the COVID recovery plan and the greening plan, and you'll hear more about this around high streets and everything around COP26 going forward as well. Some big positive excitement that we can have around the high street, and I know Steve mentioned it just now. It feels a very trepidatious time, and we are absolutely determined to make sure that we get back a thriving high street. We really do. You know what you're missing when it's gone. So we want to make sure that we don't get into that situation. We've got lots of work through the government and through what I do and through Gillian, my colleague, the Chichester MP, as the skills minister, in terms of really trying to work with DWP to make sure that we've got the best opportunities available for people impacted by the pandemic, and also those people who are growing, and some people are growing, and the opportunity through the COVID economy is giving them a chance to really thrive, that we can make sure those people who are impacted by the pandemic and the employment get the chance to be part of the next stage in the growing sectors. We've got a new job centre which will cover East Grinstead, open in Crawley. There'll be another Gatwick one as well, to try and help people to pivot their skills and abilities into either short-term sectors while they wait for their sectors to come back, or indeed it may have given them the oomph to move into something else. So we're going to be making sure that people have got the digital skills, the confidence, the understanding of what they've got that's transferable through our plan for jobs. I know that locally the district is working with Homes England and the Construction Industry Training Board to make sure that employment through the Northern Arc and housing development in Mid Sussex benefits Mid Sussex. I think that's really, really important. And I know they're actively working with people like Balfour Beatty as well to make sure that those younger people potentially unemployed get opportunities. And as the policy member for, or policy minister for Kickstart, where we've now got 120,000 opportunities for young people we didn't have 3 months ago through the Kickstart scheme. And I know many people on this call have asked about it, they're involved in it, they're interested in it. If anybody wants to talk to me more about it, please let me know. This is a 6-month training opportunity subsidised by the government for the under 25s for up to 6 months of training and learning on the job, which could lead to long-term employment, could lead to an apprenticeship, traineeship, further study, all to try and make sure that the scarring impact in terms of employment on our young people is mitigated. And the Future Jobs Fund, which some people may remember at the back of the previous recession, we have created more jobs in the first 3 months than that created in 3 years. So it just shows the appetite for people to support our young people to get opportunities. We've got over 6,500 employers involved, and we're converting those roles into placements as we speak. And we're hoping to get to 250,000 people doing that. And it's a £2 billion scheme. It's one of the schemes that I'm running. We've got our Restart programme, which starts in the summer. That's a 3-year unemployment programme to support people. We've got something called JETS and JFS, and we've also got SWAPs, which are sector-based work academy programmes. That's a chance for people to be guaranteed a job, but you get up to 6 weeks training and learning and getting the skills that you need in that particular sector. So we're using that in the care and construction, logistics, various areas. And despite what feels a very difficult time, we've still got and we went up 81,000 in the last figures. We've still got well over 500,000 vacancies. They are continuing to be in some areas such as care and construction and logistics, where we've got a skills issue. So across government, I'm working with Gillian and more broadly to try to make sure, particularly with the Prime Minister's pledge for 250,000 green jobs going forward as well, to make sure we've got those skills and those opportunities for people, and understanding what employers need is really, really important. We've of course got the plan in Mid Sussex for a possible future science and technology park, and that will be coming forward. We discussed the opportunities that the business connectivity and all of the work around the fibre which is coming on board is really important. So this gigabit fibre coming forward, which the council's been instrumental in bringing through. There's obviously the green recovery that we all want. So the promotion of the government's Green Homes Grant is crucial, and it's consistent in my inbox. People do want to live and work differently and take the best of what they've learned from the pandemic going forward into their jobs, homes, lives, businesses going forward, and we need to be supporting that with our local walking and cycling and infrastructure plans, which are being led by the district. So they've got a new sustainable economy strategy, and apologies if I'm repeating any of the things that Stephen said, but these are really, really important for certainly people who are writing into me and in my inbox. So I've spent an hour and a half with the Scouts last night. I expected to spend a little bit of time asking about what's going on and the role of the MP and what's going on, but actually getting around safely, what we're learning from the pandemic and the environment and what the future look like, our young people were incredibly interested in. I think that's something that we all need to be very, very mindful of as we try to come through this pandemic together. I think locally the vaccine rollout's been fantastic. I think the team at East Court have been brilliant, and hopefully loved ones who have had that first jab. We're now over 10 million, and I think the local council and the team there, all the vaccinators, the volunteers have been absolutely phenomenal. We get emails in of people saying that they've had a first-class service, and just what that's meant to them in terms of feeling safer and being able to get on with their lives. So hopefully over the next few weeks we'll get some clarity, and we've seen this with the AstraZeneca jab, and of course completely British made, and by the end of this, one of the best things we'll have in terms of the pandemic outcomes is we will have an ability to actually create and deliver areas of life sciences where we've always been a leader on, but we haven't been a producer of, and actually we are now up and down the land able to do that. And that in terms of what have we learned as a government, what have we learned as a society, that we need to have exactly that, so we can take that to try and ward off any future challenges. So I'm happy to take questions and not hold up the meeting anymore, but I just wanted to absolutely say it's been a really bumpy few months and just heading towards a year. Thank you for your forbearance. Thank you for your tenaciousness and for your absolute confidence that we can all get through this. And as a community and as Mid Sussex, we need you to be thriving, back doing what you do best. And we can't wait for that to happen. And above all, to do that safely and to be able to enjoy the next stage of our lives. So I hope that we can be meeting this time next year in a much more positive vein, and that we're able to be in that position. And thank you for letting me join you this evening.
Thank you very much, Mims. That's much appreciated. You've got a round of applause. We know you're a champion of the business associations, and we do appreciate what you and your team do for our businesses in the area. So thank you very much. If anybody does have questions, if we could leave that to the end, please, before we do the networking, just so we can go through some of the formalities as an AGM. And next up, to do a brief view of our finances for the year. It's been tough. It's tough for our members, so it's been tough for the association. Please welcome Margaret de Jong, who is our treasurer.
Thank you, Lee. Hi, everyone. It's great to see you all. Yes, as Lee said, it's been an incredibly difficult year to negotiate, but with the backing of the whole committee, we managed to end the year. And I've tried to send this out, but there's a technological thing that I'm not that conversant with how to overcome. So maybe in time we can have additions to this. But anyway, we ended up the year with a very slight loss. We pulled through this tremendously. And the budget set for this year should give us, we've cut everything back to our ability. I can send the budget out to anyone that asks for it. Just do it, a note on the chat or something like that, and I can get it out to you. That's not a problem. But the budget is a very cut back budget as well. Moving forward, we can move it and shift it depending on how things go. But I do know that finances always are relevant to production and giving our members what they want. And I tell you, Kate and Sam have just been amazing through all the COVID things. I've been utterly amazed at how much help we've all received from them. So as a treasurer, I want to say thank you, because it could have been disastrous for us, really. But, so that's about it, Lee, and thank you for your guidance.
Thank you, Margaret. It's more of your guidance towards me, actually. Thank you very much for that. I'm not sure how many of you know, every 2 years, we support a local charity. And the last 2 years, we were supporting East Grinstead and District Association for Mental Health, a very good charity locally. And lucky enough, recently, I believe East Grinstead Sainsbury's has taken them on as their chosen charity. So we are due for a change. And after a committee meeting, we voted in as Greenaway Foundation as our charity. Rather than me trying to explain what Greenaway Foundation does, Darren Greenaway, who is on our committee, will give us all an update on the charity and the good work it does in the local area. Over to you, Darren.
Thanks very much for that. Look, I haven't had enough beer yet. I was determined to have an AGM with some beer like last year. Thank you very much. So the Greenaway Foundation started 9 years ago by providing families with all the food and ingredients they would need to cook a 2-course healthy Christmas dinner. It's then evolved. 4 years ago, we brought in the wishing trees, so children from these families can make a wish for a present. So that's what we do at Christmas, mainly because my estate agents are very quiet at that time of year, so it's keeping them busy. Then what we do is throughout the year, the 50 schools in East Grinstead, Hawley and Crawley, we help children with ad hoc financial help. So if a child can't afford to eat, if they can't afford school uniform, can't afford to get to school, we will step in and help them with some help, or give them some help money, so the teachers can solve problems. And the idea basically is that children will hopefully see school as a positive place to be. This year, depending on COVID, because we're all up in the air, we don't know what we're doing. We're starting with just 1 or 2 children, but we'll sponsor them to go on their school residential trips. And if that works and we can raise the funding, then we'll keep growing that until who knows where we go. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. Hopefully that's enough, and I really prepared for that, as you can tell.
Thank you, Darren.
As Mims loves talking, Mims helped us at Christmas, and I'm sure she can fill in the blank.
Thank you very much, Darren. That's much appreciated. We look forward to working with you over the coming 2 years as our charity, and hopefully can promote you as much as possible, and even try and raise some finances for the charity. Thank you for that.
Always good.
One of the next formalities is with our committee members. We have a 3-year term with the option to be re-elected, and 2 of our committee members have completed their 3-year term. They have both expressed that they would be happy to be re-elected. So if Sam can keep an eye, what I would do is ask for a proposer for re-election of a committee member, followed by a seconder. And if Sam, if you could keep an eye and make a note of who's there. So the first person it's been a pleasure working with is Charmaine Hallmark, who has done her 3-year term. So could I ask for someone to propose Charmaine to be re-elected?
I'll propose.
Thank you. And could I have a seconder for that, please? Fiona, Darren, yeah.
Darren.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the second member of our team, a very proactive member on the committee, is Rex Whitaker. He is happy to be re-elected. So would anyone like to propose Rex to be re-elected? Yeah. You can't get away, Rex. And a seconder for that, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Or, well, you never left, Charmaine and Rex. Thank you for that. That's the formalities we've got to go through. So I'll do a quick review of 2020 from my perspective, and what we are hoping to do in 2021. Well, 2020, you know, what a year, an unprecedented year, a COVID year. It was rubbish. As Mim said earlier, it's been good and bad for businesses, depending on the sector they work in. I know that aviation and travel has been severely hit. Retail has struggled. But there has been some good news, and some businesses have thrived in this pandemic. And we found the same it's the same in Mid-Sussex. It's a mix of how businesses are getting on, but we're always here to help. We've spent a lot of time this year, or last year, sorry, helping businesses through the grants and loans system, which is, you know, can be quite challenging. But Kevin Stewart, who's on the Zoom tonight, has been so helpful in pushing through the information to our members and helping us understand some of the process. So it's been a year to try and help our members survive, and for us to try and be the conduit between Mid-Sussex District Council and Mims's team through to you businesses, to let's all try and survive and prosper during this pandemic. As for 2021, we're still in a pandemic, of course, but I'm hoping normality is looking like it's at the end of the tunnel. The vaccines are rolling through very quickly. I think we've done very well as a nation to get that many people vaccinated. But I think there could be some tough times still ahead for businesses. So as the Business Association, we're always here to help where we can. There are still grants and funding available, and Kevin will always keep us updated on what's available, and we will even possibly try and do another Zoom session with Kevin at some point in his team for you businesses to see if there's any more funding that you could be eligible for. We have also spoken to Stephen and his team through the economic development team. I've had chats with Sally Blomfield and her team because they was on the verge of finalising an economic strategy just before the pandemic, but I think you'll realise they pretty much had to start again. So we do have a recovery plan document that we will put on our website, and Sally and her team have asked for any comments on that, but we'll push that out to you guys as soon as we've got it on our website. And also later on in the year, the economic strategy team will be looking for some consultation with us as the business associations and with businesses once they start getting nearer to putting together a new sustainable economic strategy. So hopefully we can get new businesses involved in that as well within Mid Sussex. We've also been talking with Mims and her team and with West Sussex and with Mid Sussex about the potential of running an economic summit where we can hopefully enlighten all members across of the business associations and any businesses across the Mid Sussex district with what Mims with government and West Sussex, because we're bordered by the coast economy with Brighton and that, and we're bordered with Gatwick, which was a big financial centre. So we're hoping to get an economic summit running this year, but of course we'll keep you updated with all of that. That's pretty much it from me. We will try and help the businesses out as much as possible. If you've got any queries regarding membership or anything else we can help you with, or you just want to have a chat, please get in touch with Kate Bennett. She is our business manager, kate@egba.co.uk. And if you've got any events going on, if you've got any promotion you'd like to do for your business or any news that you wish to push out to other businesses, get in touch with Samantha West. She's our marketing manager, sam@egba.co.uk. So I think that's it from me at the moment. If there is any questions or anything you'd like to ask at this point for either Mims's team or Mid Sussex or the EGBA, wave your hand or throw a chat message, or if not, just contact us through our website and we'll always pass on any information or queries that you may have. So is anybody, I'm looking for any waving hands if anybody's got any queries, but I've got a lot of screens to look at. That's good. Well, thank you, everybody.
Can I butt in, Lee, and
Of
just
course
say
you
about
can,
Darren's amazing charity that you're supporting? On Christmas Eve, I went up to one of the schools in Crawley. I'll tell you what, it was like a queue for McDonald's when it would just reopen. The amount of cars of wonderful people who were queuing up to come and be the reindeer to get out all the amazing food parcels and Christmas wishes that he and the team had put together. The whole of the gym was completely full of these parcels of both food and presents for people in our community. So Claire, who works with me, and I bumped into our local mayor, John DeBell was there helping out as well. And we spent part of Christmas Eve delivering these food parcels, which had been made up, and goodness knows how long Darren and all of the team at the charity had spent both sourcing what looked amazing, wrapping it up, putting it together, doing all the postcodes, the letters, and then this army of people arriving to get it out the door. It must have taken absolutely hours and hours of time, and it was a pleasure to spend a little time, passing those onto the doorstep. So I don't think you could have chosen a more wonderful and worthy charity. And if you haven't been involved before, it's a great time to get involved. But it was incredible to be part of, and congratulations, Darren, and all the team on bringing that together, because it was phenomenal, and you would have been absolutely the tonic that some people have needed at Christmas.
Thank you, Mims. I will back up Mims's sentiments, because Darren every year does try and push out to our members to look for sponsors for a lot of the food. The previous year, my business, we sponsored all the stuffing, and this year I was in charge of all the cream. So I bought all the cream for the Christmas puddings this year. So he will be after everybody Christmas 2021, so keep an eye on, but we'll keep pushing the information out. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Mims. Okay, we'll move on to some quick networking. I think hopefully everybody's got used to this format now. We will go into breakout rooms. I know Mims has got to leave at some point for yet another meeting, and I believe Norman has as well. But so, and if anybody, you don't need to stay for the networking. It's completely up to you. But it's a good time to have a chin wag. Sam's going to be in control. We're going to do 5 minutes in each room. There'll be approximately 4 of us in each room, just to have a chin wag. And what we had last time we did this, some people didn't click on enter in the room or didn't wait long enough for people to enter the room. So bear with us, just click on what you see on the screen, and hopefully if everything goes to plan, we'll try some of this networking via Zoom. Over to you, Sam.
Okay. Thank you. Right, guys, I'm going to send you all off to the rooms now. Numbers should come up on your screen. If you just click on that, it will take you along to the room. Yeah, have fun.